The Ministry of Education have done its best to sensitize about CBC, and we have people who have been trained to come and train the teachers. But I think that's why we have the problem, because you can have people who are very theoretical come to teachers who are not supposed to be very practical.
Greeting, dear viewers. Welcome to Teachers TV Africa, and we are live and direct from Kenya. What's the name of this place?
We are in Nairobi town. This is outside the town. It's called Community.
Okay, and your name, please?
My name is Teacher Ambrose.
Yeah. Okay.
From Kenya.
Okay.
I teach at Makini Junior Academy. It's a private institution. And
one of the best schools in Kenya.
Sure. It's one of the best schools in Kenya.
Okay.
I'm happy to have met Peter. We met online, and we had a conversation. Our interest was education. Education is our business, so that's what brought us together, and I'm excited to have this interview.
All right. Now, according to you, what are those challenges? Because we believe that our main objective as teachers and educators is to improve on the education all over Africa.
Yeah.
But what are the major challenges that you have found that, if they are not worked upon, improving education would be a hard thing?
To begin with, I would say Africans, and especially in Kenya, we have very good ideas about what we need to do about education. The problem is implementation.
Okay.
Meaning we have things on the paper, but when it comes to implementing them, we have a challenge. Overall, Kenya is said to be one of the countries that whose literacy levels and numeracy level in sub-Saharan Africa need to be improved. Yes, we are doing well, but we are not doing well enough. One of the challenges and it has been documented, especially by guys like Tusome, who carries a survey across Africa, is that we have a shortage of personnel, that is the teachers. You may have good infrastructures, you may have computers and all those modern
equipment,
but without good infrastructures, then we will not be able to. Teachers, we may not be able to provide quality education. Number two, we remember during our Kibaki's time, that is when he was a president, there was total transition from primary to secondary, and provision of primary education. Remember the SDGs? That's from the whole country. There's some standards from the one level that from these years, all the governments in Africa should provide free education, affordable free education to everybody. So following those SDGs, that informed the transition to total transition, 100% transition. What did that do? We had so many learners. The number of learners and compared to infrastructure, the number of teachers in schools cannot be compared. There are so many learners, but we have few teachers, few infrastructures. So the next challenge that we have is the numbers. The numbers are overwhelming.
The numbers of the learners in class are overwhelming.
They are overwhelming to teachers, because how do you expect teachers to have one-to-one? We are talking about CBC, where we are nurturing individual talents, individual potentials. How do you do that if you don't have one-to-one, or you have a smaller group that you can attend to? So that's a major challenge, especially in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, again, let us talk briefly about the CBC.
Yes.
Do people understand? According to you, do Kenyan teachers and even educators understand the CBC? Because everyone is talking about the CBC, but honestly speaking, I've not yet seen a clear picture in the couple of schools that we have visited. A clear picture that brings it out as CBC. Do people understand it, or it is just used like the way how in Africa we talk about things, theoretically, but when we have not yet taken time to understand how to implement them practically. What's your opinion?
I agree with you. CBC is a talk in town, especially even in the government, because they are pushing for CBC implementation.
Yes.
But I agree with you. It has not been well understood. All that at policy making levels, even down to the classroom. We've had issues with teachers saying we don't know this, we need more training. The parents came up the other day saying they were not well involved in the implementation of curriculum. So I would say, we have a work to do, especially on what does it entail to have a good CBC classroom.
Okay.
So we're still struggling with 844, the theoretical part of it, but we need hands-on. I think for me, I'm looking up to hands-on because it's there, it's in the design, it's recommended. But then the resources, we need to help the teachers to come up with locally available resources. Actually, the one thing that I was not happy about to hear people saying that CBC is very costly from the parents. But I think it's about because
they have not understood it.
They have not understood because you cannot say it's expensive when we have locally available materials we can use in schools to do the implementations. And the other challenge, they say, there's a lot of printing materials. We are asked by teachers to print. Who said that we need to print for every strand, everything? You don't have to do the printing. So that informs me and everybody that this is misinformation, and we need to improve in terms of empowering the teachers and the parents on what actually need to be. Actually, education should be cheap.
Okay.
Yes.
But has the government taken serious initiatives to sensitize the parents and other stakeholders in education, like on media, newspapers, when it comes to the CBC, or it is just all about conducting trainings, workshops, those covert or internal, which people don't understand about, or which people have not, whereby people have not yet been invited to take part in decision making? Briefly.
Well, the Ministry of Education have done its best to sensitize about CBC, and we have people who have been trained to come and train the teachers. But I think that's why we have the problem, because you can have people who are very theoretical come to teachers who are not supposed to be very practical. So
theoretical people training practical people. Because
so
yes, we are in one of the schools.
Yes.
And in that school, they told us that the teachers were trained. Then the person told us that the teachers were trained by people from the ministry. Sure. Then in my mind, I asked myself, how can a ministry person who is not in class train a person who is going to teach?
That's why we get it wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say this is why we get it wrong, because some people want to get some money. To get some money, that's it. But the people who should be
trained, empowered should be the teachers first. Yes. Then they train other teachers.
But you cannot have somebody who sit in the office. You're given a laptop and some slides. You should go through the slide. Actually, there was a case of a friend who told me they were taken through the slide for the whole day, and that is it. So there's nothing hands-on. And you need to say 1,000 or I don't know how many thousands have been trained as teachers. Seriously, somebody need to audit that. How well were they trained? Yes, you went out there, you spend money, and you send people to go out there, but how well was it conducted?
Okay.
I think that's why we get it wrong. I still feel there's still job to be done. And please let them go to the teachers, empower the teachers, let the teachers themselves who have now interacted with CBC, they know its challenges and its advantages, go back to the teachers themselves and try to speak and to talk about CBC.
Currently we are in Kenya, Nairobi, and we are with teacher Ambrose, a very famous school here in Kenya. And according to you now, how best, again, after talking about the CBC, how best can we motivate our teachers all over Africa? Because if you look at the outcry of teachers all over the world, it's a uniform outcry. How best can we motivate them?
The teachers need to motivate themselves.
Okay, how?
One, the way now we met online.
Yes.
We develop a relationship because we have education at teaching is a business. If you can create community of educators, okay, where we can exchange ideas about how best we can improve education in all over Africa, then we can now specialize the policymakers on what need to be done. So because also we have at the policy level, people make policies and they have not consulted the teachers now who are implementing the curriculum. So one, I wouldn't say I just expect, you have those, you can motivate them with money, yes. Pay them good salary. We all need good salary. But I still feel if it starts with us, we motivate ourselves. Because we are happy about what we're doing. And we create community of educators.
People.
We encourage each other. When we are happy about what we're doing, and now we can ask those who are our employers, who are making policies, how else can we motivate teachers? Well, I think most of the teachers also care to control people. Basic needs. For example, meeting the basic needs for some of the teachers in Africa is a challenge.
How do you expect a person
Yes.
who is struggling to meet their basic needs to give in 100%?
Yes. How do you expect a teacher who has a sick child, has parents, who may not be able to meet their basic needs, be a happy teacher who stand before the children and communicate or even empower these learners? And a teacher teaches all the professions. So,
Meaning it starts with us, we should motivate ourselves.
to motivate ourselves and also encourage.
Now, by the way, once we started up our agenda, called understanding each other and also inspiring teachers to see ways of how they can be inspired. We believe that also Kenyans, I don't know whether you have such things, yeah? So that's the reason why we're here, to see ways of how you can also start that
Now that we are blessed with the internet, we are blessed with the WhatsApp groups, we do a lot. Actually, in Kenya, we do a lot of communication. But it's not formal. But as at that level, informal level, people need exchange ideas, exchange materials, programs, yes, and also motivate each other. Yes, we are discouraged because of the salary, delays, and challenges at the workplaces. But through such forums, we have already started in very informal way.
Okay. But I'd also like to advise their parents. Most schools wouldn't like to default paying teachers. But the truth is, even in most cases, in so many schools all over Africa, let me say Kenya, Uganda, based on the conversation we have had, the type of teachers in school that we are visiting, you find that the payment from parents, school fees payment, is not reliable, and schools don't have other sources of income. So our dear parents, prioritize school. Prioritize paying school fees, because if you pay school fees, you are rest assured that the teacher will be paid. If you don't pay school fees, that's why time teachers delay to get salary, because a teacher also has accommodation to pay for. But other parents, when they consider other things, then they bring in the teacher last or the school last. So it's also a big challenge that has to be solved with maybe a collective effort.
Sure.
So that's
and finally, I would say that we also need to diversify our resources. How we get our resources? I mean, income. The school can have a project, and the parents chip in, and the school invests maybe in pottery business. Some people, for example, you talk of CBC, we have a farm where the learners can work on. So that the food they get from those farms and all that, it can also supplement the so diversifying diversifying income generating projects means that help the parents.
Then finally, how best can you motivate? Like, okay, you are talking about motivation and all that. Then finally, can we transform Africa? If we are going to transform the teachers, can we?
Why? Because education is transformative. If you transform a teacher, You empower teacher, and a teacher empowers the learners. The learners is peer learning. They also they are change makers. Okay, so let's transform
The teachers first.
Yes,
Okay.
we could transform the whole of Africa. Do the learning experiences that we're going to have with the learners.
Okay.
And of course, the learners interact with the parents. There also be some transformative event that will take place.
Thank you very much, and thank you for what you've done today.
Thank you so much.
Anyone.
Africa, you're great. You're going far.
Thank you.
Once we
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Teacher TV Africa. May God bless you. We have been live and direct from Kenya.